Shakur Stevenson says Jaron Boots Ennis is the truth. Errol Spence, Terence Crawford's biggest rival. What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Cardinal Red Sports. Let's talk about it. Alright, so your boy Shakur Stevenson was recently interviewed, and he spoke about his thoughts of Jaron Boots Ennis. Now, I know everybody thinks Boots looked a little fishy or a little suspect in his fight versus Karen, but I think it was a lot to be admired in that fight when it comes to how Boots decided to fight it and how Karen decided to fight it. You know, you got to admire Karen for coming in with a game plan not to get knocked out, and you got to, give Boots a one-up for at least winning every round of the fight. He didn't lose a round, so, and not, at least not in my eyes. I don't know what the judges gave him. I forgot exactly, but you got to give both fighters a one-up for that. But Shakur Stevenson basically said that he feels like Jaron Boots Ennis is the next big thing at welterweight. He thinks Errol Spence and Terence Crawford are the current top dogs, and yes, they are the biggest superstars, but Jaron Boots Ennis is their biggest rival and the biggest up-and-coming superstar. The only thing he's missing is that one big fight to get him over the hump. He spoke highly about Jaron Boots Ennis' power and the way he delivers shots, and not only that, the fact that he's a switch hitter. So if you can find that interview, definitely go check it out. But he also had to say that he feels like Boots shouldn't get an immediate shot, which I don't agree with. I think Boots, because of the IBF situation, deserves that next shot. Whether Errol Spence decides to stick around 147 or give up the titles, I think if he gives up the title, Boots automatically becomes champion. I think if he doesn't give up the titles and decides to come back, fight Terence Crawford, Boots have to wait around a little while and see how the Crawford situation plays out. But I'm leaning more toward, I think Errol Spence is going to fight Thurman, end up beating Thurman, fight Crawford, and then drop the titles. I don't think we're ever going to see Crawford fight Boots or Errol Spence fight Boots. I think that's just one of those fights that fans will have in their mind like, I wish it happened, but I don't think it's ever going to happen. But when you think about what Shakur Stevenson had to say about the fact he doesn't think Boots should get that immediate shot, I don't know if he's basing it off his last performance or his overall boxing record, because his overall boxing record is super duper impressive, with all the knockouts. I know a lot of people will say that Boots has a padded record because not all those fighters are like really on his level, but at least Boots did what he's supposed to do in every last one of those fights. So you got to give him credit for being undefeated, making it this far, and being that next guy up. And then you got Virgil Ortiz out there as well, who a lot of people feel like is going to be Boots' ultimate rival. It's going to be Boots and Virgil at the end of the day. And we just got to see how it's all going to play out. We can't throw Terence Crawford out of the hat just yet, just because of the situation with David Ennis. I know that turned a lot of people off, but that doesn't mean that Terence Crawford is not going to formulate a game plan to stick around and wait Errol Spence out if he doesn't get that fight after Thurman, or if he ultimately does, then hey, he's in a great situation, especially if he wins, because he can stick around and have a Boots fight that's going to make him a lot of money, a Virgil fight that's going to make him a lot of money, a Stanonius fight or a Virgil fight that could make him a lot of money. There's a lot of fights that still could be made if Terence Crawford can pull off a victory. Can he pull it off? I don't know, but that's always a possibility. But taking it back to Boots, he also said another thing. He said that he would love to see Terence Crawford and Errol Spence get it on before Boots got an opportunity, but he also thinks that Boots would give Errol Spence a good fight, but I think he's leaning a little more towards Spence winning that one. But he definitely credited Boots that he would give Terence Crawford a run for his money. He didn't really say whether he would beat Crawford or Spence. He just kind of insinuated that he feels like Boots got the power, the speed, and the ring IQ to beat both of those guys. And I totally agree. It's all going to depend on Errol Spence at this moment. You know, what is Errol Spence going to ultimately decide to do? Will he stick around 147, or has he had enough of it? You know, if he ends up knocking Thurman out, which I predict, you know, is that a sign to tell him, like, hey, you might as well stick around here because your power is more set, especially if he knocks him out early, that your power is even better at 154 than it is at 147? You know, could that be some type of hint to him, like, yeah, I might as well go ahead and stick it out here and, you know, forget these titles? He already knows Jermell Charlo is more than likely going to move up in weight, and those titles are going to get vacated, so he might as well line himself up for when that happens. And I think that's why we're ultimately getting this play out of how Errol Spence is going about this, not putting the titles on the line versus Thurman, not taking the Crawford fight next, and, you know, choosing to go the route he is because of what's going on with Charlo at 154 and him moving up. So y'all let me know what y'all think about that down in the comment section below. Hit that like button for me, share, subscribe. Holler at me on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. More likely to get a response on the tube, so holler at me over there. And we are live in here.
Where they at? What my girls at? She like it is what it is. Nah, I ain't one to trick, I'm just investing. It's your boy Louis Keys from the West End. Any questions? Whether straight or you lesbian, play this hood while I'm dressing. Now put your clothes back on. Hop in the ride, let me take you back home. She say she felt it in her backbone. Pulled her ride over, let her hop back on. She fell off and she got back on. Niggas like me be getting they Mac on. Slacks on, cap on. Yeah, that's your girl, but she ain't coming back. Now on behalf of my niggas trying to get the money stacking up. DJ spinning, trying to get the honeys back and back it up. You see your girl right there, I'm trying to pipe her. She like, it is what it is. She like it is what it is. She like it is what it is. It is what it is. She like it is what it is. She like it is. Check it is. I got a brick house, but it's like I'm talking to a brick wall. Got a thick wall, but she shit tall. Checking on my missed calls, get me pissed off. I tolerate it, cause without her be like withdrawal. She got me fiending, dreaming of beating it up.